So apparently there are leagues for this thing, which are Swiss instead of single limb. So we're going to do that. Yeah, got a cube pack. A lot of sweet stuff. Manadork, Flame Tongue, Worm Coil. Maybe Giselle is good. I don't know. I really don't want to play like the same thing. Maybe we'll just take a red card and see where that goes. Obviously, we could just take whatever we want, but I think I want to red card people. And then if we take this and we get cut off, then we're giving up like a Worm Coil or whatever. Who cares? Boom. Too many good cards. Impossible to make decisions. Just take whatever you like, basically. I think that's the best strat. However you're feeling in the moment. Alright, so not some super aggressive red cards here. We have a Spark Mage, Fork Bolt. Obviously don't need to stay married to our first pick or anything, but this pack is, like, not great. You know, another Elf. Not really trying to go up to Bogard and Hellkite or anything. Dismiss is pretty meh. I do like Spark Mage, though. Spark Mage is tight. I wonder if there are any Spark Mage combos. I do remember there being like a push to make mono red not as good. So if there are less aggressive red cards and more of these like board controlling red cards, that would not surprise me. Also wouldn't make me too terribly unhappy, so there's that. Ooh, the Reveler. Were we ever going to have enough spells for that Reveler? Oh, this Lightning Helix is in disguise. Like, Consecrated Sphinx? That card's got to be insane. Pack Rat is probably good. So I'm not taking Helix or Reveler. I think white is... not really trying to pair my red with white. Can't really explain why. Just Consecrated Sphinx and Pack Rat are going to win games on their own. Reveler requires way too much setup. If this was, I don't know, a little bit later and we had a bunch of like blue spells or something like cantrips, then we could actually figure out whether or not Reveler would be good in our deck. But I might just take the Sphinx, I guess. This pack with Sphinx and Jace Beleren. So Pia, Compulsive Research, I have no idea what this does. Mana Leak, Unsummon, draw a card. Okie doke. So maybe counter your spell, unsummon, draw a card. Could also just use it to draw 3 cards, which is pretty sweet. Just bounce all their things. Like, if I'm going to build, like, a big blue-red deck, I would like something like Compulsive Research. Mystic Confluence is kind of the same thing. Just you can't use it to, like, filter early, which kind of stinks. Like, P and Kieran are obviously pretty good, too. I don't know. This card's new. I want to play with it. Let's do that. Inferno Titan. Ooh. Burst Lightning, Phantasmal Image. Yeah, I can't turn down a Titan. I'm gonna snap that off. Storm Chaser Mage. Yeah, sure. It's not great, but it is decent. I imagine we're gonna have, like, you know, things like Confluence and maybe some counter spells that are not great with Storm Chaser Mage, but better than Dragon Fodder. It's gotta be better than Dragon Fodder. And what's our other option? Like Night Veil Spectre? I'm not going that route. Alright, Bloodstained Mire, Ralzeric, Teferi? Jeez. Ralzeric Spark Mage combo? Teferi's pretty awesome too, but I'm going to take a Planeswalker even if it's a medium one. Why does Assemble the Legion? Okay. All the Red, white, gold cards are messed up. Poor Boros. Alright, so should we Gargadon, part the Water Veil, or just take Underground Sea? Part the Water Veil is pretty powerful, but I'm not sure how often you'd actually awaken it, and I'm not sure how good Gargadon is. I think I'm just going to take this Sea. I feel like Gargadon, not a lot of stuff I want to sack, and it's going to take a while to come off. I think it's pretty easy. Careful consideration. Alright, well, if we had, like, some ramp stuff, I would like this Hellkite. I mean, Ral can kind of ramp us, but not really. Might have to take the Hellkite anyway, unless I want to take Watery Grave. Maybe splash some black stuff. Not sure what I'm really looking for, but I probably have enough top-end stuff. Let's just take a land. I think I want Precursor Golem. Too many permanents for Reveler to be good. Rift Bolt is decent. Not really trying to take that Temple. Can I beat a Bloodghast? Can I beat any of these cards? Ooh. Cannot defeat anything. Wish I was drafting mono red. That doesn't really seem possible, though. Alright. Just a lot of cards. Outpost Siege, Conscripts, Icefall Regents. The two black dual lands could be decent if we want to play far and away. I think I just want Icefall Regent. Just be like this big blue-red tap-out deck. A lot of sweet cards in this pack, though. Alright, Force of Will would probably be pretty nice. Venser's D. Chandra's probably good. Might be tough to actually hit 2 red spells. I think I'm just going to take Force of Will to try to protect a dragon with this. Terminate's another card we could potentially splash, but I'm not really that excited about that. We need some early stuff. We need some littler cards. I want some mana rocks. Are there no mana rocks? I just want to accelerate into mythic rares. Is that not possible? Just going to be over here shuffling a Grixis deck instead. Alright, Sulphur Falls is pretty good. Upheaval is definitely good, but I don't see any acceleration, so it seems kind of tough. Delver is tough for basically the same reasons that Bedlam Reveler is, and I think I'm just taking Lightning Strike. This physically pains me to pass an Upheaval, I just want you to know that. But after the Lightning Strike, we would probably just take Sulphur Falls, so likely not going anywhere near that that Upheaval anyway. Alright, Chain Lightning, Harbinger, Ancestral. See, I don't really think I need to draw cards. I already have 2 card drawers. In Consideration and Mystic Confluence, Consecrated Sphinx kind of counts. I basically just, like, want some filtering to hit my land drops and some removal to make sure I don't die. And then, obviously, I hope that my threats are good, but I'm going to assume that they are. So I think we're just going to take Chain Lightning over Ancestral, which, again, physically pains me. Ooh, Baleful Strix? I mean, I'm going to snap off this Fire Ice, because this is kind of exactly what we want. It's a split card for Force of Will, which is nice. It's an early removal spell, and if it's not very good, we can cycle it to tap to the land or big creature or whatever. So this is kind of like the exact card I'm looking for this deck. Baleful Strix is obviously great, but I'm not going to be able to cast it early, so whatever. Alright, Lightning Bolt or Pact of Negation. Pact of Negation helps me do the Force of Will thing, where I just get to play a fatty and protect it, but think I'm just going to go for the removal spell. And at this point, we can probably move these duels to the sideboard. What is Fire Ice doing in the 4-drop? Get out of here. That is nonsense. Yeah, deck looks pretty decent. I'm not too upset. Could use some dual lands, but whatever. City of Brass, that doesn't count. Does not count. A lot of Phoenixes. Yeah, whatever. Let's take another removal spell. I think we're pretty good on those. Might be able to cut Rift Bolt. And our Storm Chaser Mage got a lot better. So that's cool. Ooh, Scalding Tarn? I don't think Dual Caster Mage is particularly good. Well, we could play this Rakdos' Return, or we could play the Outpost Siege. Rakdos' Return seems kind of nice. But so does Outpost Siege. I don't know. We have 17 playables right now. 3 seconds. Alright. I'm a coward. Well, now Chandra is pretty live, actually. I think our deck's a little too clunky to make good use of Curse Scroll. We could use the Chainwalker to just beat him down. I think Chandra is a little bit better at that. So now we ended up with all these blue cards that we may or may not want in our deck. Force of Will looking pretty bad. Ooh, got the Sulfur Falls back. Delver actually looks pretty good now, but I'd rather just have a duel. Crap. Maybe Kiln Fiend's good. Crater's Claws. Claws could be alright. I could also see protecting the Stormkirk Noble, but drawing this late is going to be real bad. So yeah, we'll just take Claw. Yeah, we're not going to be able to trigger Battalion or anything, so. Abbott, Gifts, Deceiver, Exarch, Hanweir, Garrison. A lot of great white cards. I think we're just in for the Garrison. And yeah, looks pretty good to me. Curve's a little too high for Abbott, and we don't have like a Kiki Jiki or anything, but Deceiver's pretty nice. But yeah, I'm really looking for these one-card threats that just put on a ton of pressure, so like Garrison and Chandra fit right in. Magma Jet, Anger, Dungeon Geist, Miscalculation. I think I like Miscalc, actually. Dungeon Geist fits the theme for sure. We do have 2 duels now, which is nice. Yeah, maybe we do want the Dungeon Geists. Not sure if we're playing this Claws or not. A lot of cards I'm not sure about whether or not we're playing. Yeah, like how big of a deal is it to actually like counter an early play? Whatever. We'll just lock down their play. How's that sound? No idea if this deck is actually good or not. I'm gonna guess no. These decks always look so appealing to me. And obviously they end up being much worse than what they look like. Alright, so I could see Impulse Muldrifter, Lavamancer. Feel like it should just be Muldrifter. do have so much top end, though. Ah, we're going to Lavamancer. Passing a bunch of Planeswalkers we can't really beat. So, classic mono red, splashing a bunch of double blue dragons and Force of Will. Perfect. Just perfect. Ooh, Into the Royal. I really like Into the Royal. I really shouldn't, but I do. We gonna do anything with the Stomping Ground? Probably not. Lightning Greaves might actually be okay in our deck, because we have all these fatties that we kind of want to protect. Does not protect our Precursor Golem, unfortunately. Should we Lightning Greaves? It's like so good. It's just good with all of our creatures. War Marshal, Sealfire, Jace, Vryn's Prodigy, Tamio. I can see a world in which Ancient Tomb is good at accelerating into these things, but I'm taking Jace. We got a bunch of bolts and whatnot to flash back, and wow. We have some options. Chandra's great. Spell Pierce is Dece. Future Sight is like Dece minus. Can I pass up a Chandra? Is that a real thing? It is not a real thing. There's definitely some consideration to me having enough of these Chandra-type cards to the point where I might have to cut some, and maybe I just want to Spell Pierce even if it's for just my sideboard. Avalanche Riders. Flame Slash, Moloku. Pretty excited about Avalanche Riders. I have so many 4s, though. Don't really want another Moloku or another Flame Slash. So this is where, like, Avalanche Riders is like a Spell Pierce type card where you're going to want it in some matchups, but not in all. But it's worth it to have that option. Oh no, the Splinter Twin. I don't think War Gear is very good. I'm pretty happy with Temple. And if Deceiver comes back, I'll be a little sad. So right now I have 27 cards. Oh no, the Deceiver came back. Alright, get in my sideboard. Alright, I think we could Force Will Avalanche Riders. Ooh, could sideboard the Anger, or we could just play the Miscalc. I think I'm pretty happy with Miscalc. I'm not sure if that's actually going to make the deck or not. Well, now we have a third blue-red duel. We could just take Factory. And I'd be fine playing that. Or we could just take the Impulse, which I don't really want to play with. So yeah, I'll just take Factory. Basically just looking to cut some of the weaker cards. I think Rick Bolt's pretty weak. We could build a deck where Kiln Fiend is actually decent, but I don't think I want to go down that route. I'm not sure a Precursor Golem is any good either. So maybe that means I want the Miscalc. All these cards are pretty good. Seems like I'm getting a lot of black cards pretty late. Mid-range black does not appear to be a thing. Let's take Flicker Wisp. Can I beat Geist? Probably not. I assume if someone wanted to play Geist, they probably would have taken it early, but whatever. Ooh. Gifto. So I think this is it. I don't think there's a whole lot of merit to just playing Deceiver for the sake of playing Deceiver. Could potentially play Force of Will. I feel like Force, Spell Pierce, and Avalanche Riders are going to be sideboard cards against the same type of deck. Might even bring in Kiln Fiend against something like that. Precursor Golem. And then if we're going to assume that most people are like creature-based, then this is probably our main deck. So I think that's about it.